think we all learned something there, and oh, yep, I think I'm hearing, is he in the building? Yes, he's in the building, wanted dead or alive, and lucky for us that tonight we find him very much alive. Britain's greatest ever playwright, with almost as many hits as Andrew Lloyd Webber. Will you please welcome that big, baldy bard himself, Mr. William Shakespeare. Bill, Shaky, what, I don't know what to call you, but thank you very much for coming. This is your first time in the television studio, I believe, so thank you for coming all the way from beautiful Stratford for us. And how are you taking to the modern world?
Well, it's all changed so much. I mean, things have improved, the sanitation, for instance, but the prices. It cost me £5 to get my own house. Another £5 to get in Anne Hathaway's cottage, mind you, it always did.
Well, what can we say? Shaky, we'll get on to the play itself, to the character of Hamlet in just a minute, but before we do, I want to talk about you a little bit, find out a bit about the man. I'm not sure how much you know about TV today. I think it's quite different to how it was in your day. But nowadays, when you interview someone on television, you cover the shadowy areas of the subject, you try and dig a bit deeper, and so these questions will be quite personal, but this is what we have to do, okay? I'm going to start with a big one, if you don't mind. VD or not VD? Did you have a dose? Because you see a lot of people... Scholars believe that you did.
I thought we were going to talk about Hamlet.
Well, we will. But as I said, these days you have to get under the skin of your interviewee. And speaking of getting under the skin, you and Anne Hathaway, was she in the club before you got married? Because it was a rushed affair.
Look, I thought this was supposed to be a celebration of my work, not a character assassination. Now, either we talk about the play, or I'm off.
Let's do a little bit on your background first, though. Your father, he was a lowly glove maker, I believe. He ran a little glove shop in Stratford.
The glove shop.
So this was a big thing? Like gloves are us? I glove Stratford. It's glovely.
Look, if we can get back to my writing.
Right, OK. Hamlet. Hamlet it is, then. I'll hit the ground running. You've always been well received, I believe. Your plays always went down well. Did you ever get a bad review?
No. Not that I remember.
So you weren't aware of any bad reviews at all?
No.
Not even this one that I dug up from the writer Richard Green in 1592, who called you an upstart crow, who supposes he's able to bombast out a blank verse as the best of us?
He also said I was conceited and a plagiarist, the bastard. I'd like to see him knock out a 4-hour drama about some Danish bloke trying to make up his mind.
Is it true you couldn't always make up your mind? Because I hear you batted for the other side of it as well. I don't... Please tell me if I'm out of line here at all, and there's nothing wrong with it, but, you know, what with, with the Earl of Southampton, I believe, you wrote sonnets to him. I quote one here, the love I dedicate to your lordship is without end, and there were the tights, of course, and the whole village people look.
We all wore tights. Look, your researcher assured me we were only going to talk about my work.
All right, I'm Hamlet, then.
Yes.
Straight to Hamlet, then.
You will cut all that out, won't you?
It's all gone, trust me. Now, Hamlet, where did the idea come from?
Well, as a writer, I look at the world around me, and I was fascinated by the way people were looking for a meaning for their existence.
So you didn't just read this then, a play by another writer before you, Thomas Kidd, a play spookily enough entitled Hamlet, Prince of Denmark?
The Hamlet thing was in the air. An indecisive, Danish, uncle-killing prince was such an obvious character.
Bill, isn't the fact that most of your stories were nicked?
Look, you beetle-headed, flap-eared git. I'm William bloody Shakespeare. I'm the best writer in the history of the world ever.
This is nothing personal. It's not between me and you.
Crap. I earn £12 a year. How much do you earn?
I think we've got a bit of a technical hitch. We've temporarily lost our celebrity guest. We'll see if we can get him back. Meanwhile, there's one British actor who's been on everyone's lips in Hollywood lately, and I'm not talking about Hugh Grant. That is, of course... I do apologise. Kenneth Branagh. He's still toiling away next door with his masterclass, so let's see how he's getting to grips with his new master, Sir Christopher Ball's inspired interpretation of that Danish prince.
So is there anything else you can suggest?
Yes, I can suggest a tool.
Yep.
A tool to help you.
Sure.
Stay merry.
Okay.
Stay thinking Tommy Steele.
Sure.
The Cockney Millionaire, half a sixpence, all that. Stay merry, 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 merry. Think Maxie Miller. Think Maxie, Maxie. And then, here is the tool. Here is the sail beneath your feet. It's that Carol Channing kind of a wooden, formless medium.
Sure.
through
Sure.
which I want you to give me to be or not to be.
So I'll do it through my tool. Cookie, or ngọc cookie. Cookie, cookie, con. Gaga, cái câu rồi nó ngay, có kaka. Sling, I'll bring a foil.
He's going to Japan. Bring him back to Sweden.
Yes, he is in Japan. He's in Japan and he's on a very...
That's next year.
That's right. He's on a regional leisure centres tour in Japan. And that's what's...
Sorry, Kenneth?
I'm sorry, I'm starting again.
Thank you.
Toge, or got toge. On an island, isn't it? Toge, or got toge. Got it, got it. Gaga, take no glory no line, to kaka. The sling can caro, go out, break your got gun, or to get gang, I can taki or gruggles, and guy goes in. Kende. For me, it doesn't work.
But it was fantastic.
Yeah?
I'm very sorry. I am chagrined. I am embarrassed. I apologise. And I'm, you know, please, if we could just do it all over again and pretend it never happened.
Fine.
Okay, Louis, thank you. We got him back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome back Mr. William Shakespeare. And we'll do exactly the way you want, okay? I must tell you about the way things are today, because in America, you and Jane Austen are going down great guns at the moment. They love you there. There's a town called Hollywood. It's in, well, the New World, as you would know it, of course.
What, that rotten place full of savages and disease?
Well, things haven't changed much, I suppose, but you have a lot of fans out there in the New World, and, you know, they all jump at the chance to play you over there.
The undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveler returns.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy.
Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar.
He went to a dance the other night. Sat all by himself in the corner. He got nobody to dance with.
Now that's my Hamlet.
You like it?
The delivery, the look. In fact, the first draft even went, get thee to a nunnery. Just like that.
Before you head off to catch the last cart home, several Latter-day Stars have been pestering us to let them ask you a question or two, so will you oblige?
Why not?
First up is a Mr. Richard Dreyfuss. Richard, ask your question, please.
I was told that you actually wrote some of these plays standing up in the pit of the Globe Theater, writing drafts out in longhand on the stage. Is that true?
Yes, it is true that I very rarely met the deadlines. You see, in those days, I had to churn out a play every few weeks. I had originally intended Hamlet to end with a huge action sequence, a dance routine or two. But because of the time aspect, I just wrote, they all kill each other, the end.
I think that's the same thing that happened with the end of Reservoir Dogs as well. We have a question now from Jack Lemmon.
Bill, I've got one question. Did people really talk like that back then in your days, or are you just putting us on?
Well, of course, Jack, Hamlet is full of 16th century phrases which I made up, which probably have very little meaning nowadays. I mean, neither a borrower nor a lender be, shuffle off this mortal coil, murder most foul, to the manor born, and so on. You see, back then, dramatic convention was quite specific. It all had to sound like bollocks, but actually mean a great deal.
So finally tonight, we have Billy Crystal, who also has a few questions for you. Billy?
Mr. Shakespeare, codpiece. What do you think? These are the in-depth questions that a Bronx-born would say. So what are those cod pieces? Were the guys really built like that, or is that a fake? Is that a real cod? You actually use a cod? What do you use, you know?
Why is he so fascinated? It's just a fashion accessory.
Well, we'll be seeing all of them again in part 3 and hearing just what they've got to say about the film that's currently taking the old world by storm, and of course the new world, but now the one that you've been waiting for. All of you soap opera fans out there, we've given Hamlet the American Sex and Scandal Fest treatment. Eat your heart out, Dallas and Falcon Crest. Make way for Dane Nasty.